everyone. All right, so I really hope you like this book. This is one of my favorites, and I usually read it in the spring because after I'm done, I would like you can choose to either write your own book or write a journal entry about what you would do if you were boss for 1 week in your family, for your family in your house. So let's read Boss for a Week. I'll read it like this. I'll be hiding behind the book reading the pages. If I were boss on Monday in our house, I'd make this rule. All people living here coming in from work or school must change their clothes immediately. No barefoot either. But it says here, notice, boots must be worn in the kitchen by orders of the boss. Biscuits may be eaten at any time, and giggling is permitted. This book is cumbersome. It's hard to handle. All right. Little Caroline, sweet Caroline, neat and natty, darling Caroline, may go straight out to play. No rules for her, huh? If I were boss on Tuesday in our house, I'd proclaim all people living here must be inside this house by 5 o'clock on the dot, except for, oh, you know, little Caroline, sweet Caroline, prompt and punctual, darling Caroline. She may stay out later, even if it gets a little dark. If I were boss on Wednesday in our house, I'd insist all people sitting at the table about to eat must get up and wash their hands and faces too, and their knees. Everyone except, before I turn the page, it says toothpaste must be squeezed in the middle. Towels and clothes may be left on the floor. All right, except for little Caroline, sweet Caroline, clean and gleaming, darling Caroline. She may start her dinner. If I were boss on Thursday in our house, I'd announce loud and clear. Let's see what she says. If dads get the leftovers, meatloaf and his sandwiches for lunch, then little Caroline, sweet Caroline, hungry, starving, darling Caroline, she shall have the same. Certainly not spaghetti. If I were boss on Friday in our house, I'd tell them straight. All people not having to attend school tomorrow may stay up as long as they like and watch television, especially little Caroline, sweet Caroline, perky, wide awake, darling Caroline. She may choose the channel too. If I were boss on Saturday in our house, I'd instruct the grown-ups, no chores for kids today. No making beds, doing dishes, hanging out clothes, or dusting. Anyway, not for little Caroline, sweet Caroline, good and helpful, darling Caroline. And it says here, on this page, she needs her rest. And it says, animals may sleep on the bed. I like that. Which is a lot of animals. If I were boss on Saturday in our house, everyone would know who gets the wishbone and the biggest heap of ice cream, 2 helpings. Who but, I think you know who it is by now. Little Caroline, sweet Caroline, Always eat her dinner up, darling Caroline. And it's not conditional on eating her vegetables either. So she can have ice cream, dessert, even if she doesn't eat her veggies. If I were boss for 1 week in our house, I'd make them change their ways. And all for little Caroline, sweet Caroline, that golden-headed angel, that paragon of virtue, that beautiful, wonderful, marvelous she, that dearest darling, me. And look at her pin. It says B-O-S, boss. Oh, look what's happening the following week. Dad's handing over, she's handing her sticker pin to Dad. I think he says it's time for me to be the boss. I love it. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember that this is a great opportunity in your journal. Maybe you can say on Monday, this is the rule you would have if you were boss. On Tuesday, what your rule would be. And you can make a rule for each week. For each day of the week. Wouldn't that be cool? Just a suggestion. If you're inspired by this really silly book, I would love to see what kind of rules you would have in your house if you were boss for a week.